What's up, fam? It's your girl Q back at Blessed to Be a Blessing, where we are blessed to be a blessing. Listen, I'm gonna go ahead and jump right into it. It's Thanksgiving Day. First of all, happy Thanksgiving. I hope you all have a wonderful, blessed day with your family and friends and food. So, without further ado, we are here for the game reboot episode 4, which is entitled White Party, White People, and White Lies. Honey, Tasha Mack threw a banging white party. I forgot to tell you guys that this beautiful young lady right here's name is Ari Lennox. She was performing at the white party. So she's trying to raise money for this school that she wants her daughter to go to because her daughter plays tennis. So she's trying to, get in good with the people. So she found out that Oprah raised $2 million for the school. So she wants to raise $2.1 million. Okay, she want to get more than Oprah. So anyway, the white party is just jumping, and of course, Brittany, her assistant, is helping her get everything all set up. So Brittany tries to dig in and be nosy like she's been doing. She's like, "Oh, do you want me to try to bring Jameson or something?" She mentioned Jameson and or talking to Ulysses about Jameson. And Tasha told her, "No, what I want you to do is tend to this white party. She needs to stay up out of Tasha's business." So anyway, Brittany takes it upon herself to go and invite Jameson anyway. So meanwhile, Jameson is at the crib, at Malik's crib, teaching his pole dancing class to seniors. It's called Poles and Pasta because apparently after they pole dance, honey, he cooks them some pasta. So he's got all these older ladies in there with their little poles. And this is one particular lady named Miss Gladys, aka Cinnamon, when she's on the stripper pole. And so Miss Gladys, she was eavesdropping when Brittany came to tell Jameson about the white party, and Brittany bought him a bad white suit and everything. So first Jameson was like, Tasha gonna be like, Tasha ain't want me to go there and this and that. She was like, yeah, but that's okay. You need to come, and this is what we gonna do. So she created a plan to bring Jameson and Miss Gladys, and she's gonna have Miss Gladys use all of her little sweetness and stuff to try to woo Ulysses over, right? And then also she said this will be a chance for Ulysses to actually get to know Jameson. So Jameson's like, cool, I'm game. So he goes. So boom, we at the party. Party is jumping. Oh, meanwhile, the opening of the show started with Malik, y'all. He's burning all of these movies, like home DVDs that he's made with all these different girls that he's been having SE, with. Right, so he's burning them because he has now committed to do the No Nut November, and it's killing him. This ain't number day one, y'all. This killing him. So he burns all of those DVDs and everything. He's going through all kinds of withdrawal and stuff like that. So that part's funny. So meanwhile, at the party, at the white party, Tasha has an auction for the two football players, Malik and then the other guy. I keep forgetting his name. The fine Redbone dude, the one that's asking Ulysses to pay him more. Okay, so he wants to be the highest running back. So anyway, she's auctioning them off, and so while Malik's there, his biggest temptation walks in, honey, which is this girl he watches to do online, kind of like a virtual workout person. And so she showed up at the party, y'all. Malik like, oh my God. He had just got through telling Jameson how she is the woman of his dreams and how he want her so bad. Pretty little chocolate girl too. So she showed up at the party. So Malik like, oh my goodness. Oh my, what am I going to do? Because he trying to get through this day. Jameson already told him, if you make it to midnight, bro, you made your first day through No Nut November. So Malik goes up to get auctioned, and Miss Gladys with her little fresh tail, she liked Malik, honey. So they bidding back and forth, Miss Gladys and the little workout chick. So finally, Miss Gladys was like $25,000. Malik was so happy Miss Gladys won him because, he ain't going to try to get it in with Miss Gladys. So that was no temptation. So that was that. But later on in the party, Miss Workout Girl came up to him and he was like, I ain't going to make it. I ain't going to make it. So they started trying to make out a little bit in one of the little back houses or whatever. And right then, midnight struck right before they got ready to get all the way into it. And Malik was like, woo, I made it. So he left her there. And he was like, look, what you doing in the next 29 days? He gonna come back and get that, okay? But he was happy. He wanted to celebrate that he actually made it through No Nut November. So kudos to Malik for that. So anyway, meanwhile, back at the party, Tasha has raised over $2 million. That was her goal, y'all, to beat Oprah's how much Oprah had raised for the school. So, and mind you, the woman who's like head of the school, she's there at the party and everything. So you know, she's having a good time and everything. Of course, Ulysses is all up on Tasha. He wants some of that Tasha. Tasha ain't thinking about him like that. So anyway, this guy walks up to Jameson. Jameson's standing there talking with Brittany or whatever. And wait, let me back it up, because first Jameson and Brittany and Miss Gladys were all talking to Ulysses. And Brittany put that together, you know, so like she said, so she could work her plan. And sure enough, Miss Gladys was using her charm and everything, talking about making the best cobbler and all of this stuff. So, you know, Ulysses was all into that. So that was that. But he told Tasha again, and I think he told Brittany too, that, you know, he just doesn't want to deal with Jameson because Jameson's got that bad reputation for that RAP, you know what, case with the E at the end. And so he doesn't want to deal with that bad publicity, even though Jameson is a stand-up guy, and even though he didn't actually RAP with the E that girl, okay? So boom, while he's standing up there talking to Brittany, this white dude walks up to him and he's like, oh my goodness, oh, there's a God in heaven, you know, just like being all rude. And you could tell the look of Jameson's face like, he didn't really want to see this dude. Turns out the guy was the father of the white girl that Jameson got accused of RAP with the E. And so the man just started going off on Jameson. He started screaming all in the party, oh, y'all let this criminal in here. He doesn't deserve to be here, because, you know, part of raising that money, because it's a girls' school. So the man goes to Tasha. He's like, I can't believe you would have somebody like that up in here after what I went through with my daughter, and I'm here to support girls. And how could you say you support girls and you let somebody like that up in here? So Tasha stood up to the man right in front of everybody at the party. She was like, look, let me tell you something. Because the dude gonna say, oh, clearly you don't have a daughter, because if you knew what it was that have a daughter, you wouldn't have some man like that around. She was like, first of all, I do have a daughter and I have a black son. She was like, so my son could easily be put in the same position as Jameson, and if your son was accused of it, he'd get a little slap on the wrist and it'll be over with. He wouldn't have to go to jail, but Jameson had to go to prison behind that mess. So she just let him know. He was like, well, I want my donation back. I want my. She was like, you can take your little money. Don't nobody care about your money. You can take your money and you can get on up out of here. Because that young man is trying to start over. She took up for Jameson, y'all. She sure did. And I was so glad. So the man take his little check back and he leave. So here come Ulysses. Tasha. He was turned on, y'all, because you know he love her. So he like, Tasha, you know, Brittany, Miss Gladys, and you, like, y'all have all been trying to, like, really take up for Jameson and convince me of how much of a good person this young man is. He was like, but what you just did right there, that was it. He was like, so I tell you what, you tell him to show up at training camp tomorrow. Y'all, Jameson made it to training camp. He is officially an NFL player. So it turned out for the good. At first, I was pissed, though, because I was like, Brittany done sat up here, done embarrassed the boy in front of the party, and that just everything. It's just a mess. Now she was exposed, too, because, you know, she did this behind Tasha's back. So, boom, Ulysses walks up, and Brittany, Tasha's like, she goes to Brittany, she's like, you did that. You invited him and Miss Gladys, didn't you? Because when Tasha first saw them walking in, she was like, what in the world is he doing here? And who is that old hag with him? And Brittany's like, ooh, you know, trying to play it off. She was the one set it up all along. So, luckily, her little plan worked. But Tasha told her, if you ever do that, dip it up in my business and stuff like that again, you will be fired, okay? Luckily, it worked this time, but don't be playing around with business. So, Brittany's like, okay, cool. So Jameson's outside soaking and sad and crying and stuff. Poor thing. Like, he was so embarrassed and humiliated. So Brittany comes out and she's like, you know, checking on him or whatever. He was like, you know, why'd you bring me here? You know, this is all about you. You just trying to get in good with Tasha. You just humiliated me. And I'm so embarrassed, you know. And he was crying and stuff. And so he broke down and he told her the story, y'all. So the story goes, he was 18 years old. He had a girlfriend who just happens to be a white girl. She was 16. When she had her prom, he went with her, and she lied to her parents about how old he was. He had just turned 19. So she lied to her parents about how old he was so that he could go to the prom with her or whatever. And so that night they did have SE, you know what, but and it was her first time, but it was like, the way he described it, they were in love, they were really into each other, and so they did it, but then they also just like fell asleep in each other's arms, and it was like a loving type of thing. He said, but honey, when he woke up, police was everywhere. Yes, 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 yes. Now I ain't gonna get too deep into what I really want to say about that, but y'all know how it go. Black men always get accused of R.A.P. with the E when he's dealing with a white woman. You would think that would be over with. Anyway, I digress. So that's how it all went down. Jameson ended up doing 3 years behind it. Now he's got this terrible reputation, but he's an amazing football player. He was the best at the little tryouts when he first tried out on the first episode, but Ulysses couldn't take it because people had all, was booing him and stuff like that. He don't want that bad press. So anyway, Brittany went ahead and gave him the news. She's like, look, when you made it, you are officially in the NFL. You will be a tryout or a training camp. And he was like, what, are you serious? So he's crying and everything. So he jumps up and he's hugging on her, and he's just like, oh, I never thought I'd tell anybody that story. So now he and Brittany, they have really bonded because, they've been kind of liking on each other from the beginning. And so they was getting ready to kiss and stuff, honey. Now, he's supposed to be doing No Nut November 2. He was about to break his thing. So anyway, they was about to kiss, and here come Malik and Miss Gladys, child. Malik to my, woo! No Nut November! He's celebrating because he done made one day of celibacy, which if you know Malik like I know Malik, child, that was a huge victory for him, okay? So anyway, it was a happy ending. It was messy, and the mess turned out to be good. That's how God do for you. Take something that the devil meant for evil and turn it around for your good. So I'm so happy for Jameson. Cannot wait for next week to see what's going to happen when he goes to training camp, and just slay all the other players because he is the truth, okay? So that was tonight's recap, or today's recap. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, especially on this wonderful holiday. I appreciate you taking your time to tune in and check me out, check out the video, get the recap. Don't forget, next Thursday, I'm here, okay? Your girl got the game reboot recaps first. Holla at me. Go ahead and hit that notification bell so you don't miss when I drop the next video or next week's video of the game reboot. All right. Again, it's your girl Q signing out at Blessed to Be a Blessing. Don't forget, y'all, you reap what you sow, so you better sow some good. God bless.